So the question about the up and down of economic cycles and how that affects our field, and the fact that many people, both young and old, are concerned about what's going to happen. The markets are going downhill, and maybe we'll all lose our job. Will there be any work? I mean, these are reasonable questions to worry about. My parents' generation went through the Great Depression of the 1920s and 30s, and then they went through World War II, like your nation did, and other problems after that. I mean, we both were involved in a war in Korea, and there's terrible stuff that's happened, and people come through it, and the economic cycles have gone up and down. The one thing I will say, though, is that the best time to do planning is when no one's building and nothing's happening. And the best time to figure out what should happen when the economy comes back is when it's in the trough. And because then when it starts to come back, you know what to do and you're ready. You've got plans. So it's a great time for planning and for thinking and for encouraging businesses, agencies, and professionals to make up plans of what should happen, what they wish they could have been working on, what needs to be done. And one of the things that when I was young and was kind of poor and wandering around not knowing what to do with myself, I would make up projects that I thought should happen. Then I'd go find somebody who would help finance it, at least pay me to do the drawings to make it happen. And some of them happened and some of them didn't. But making up what should happen, ideas, good ideas, when people see them, they think, that's interesting. And some people think, oh, I could make money doing that. And other people think, oh, I could get elected doing that. And other people think, I could get a job doing that. So coming up with plans of what should happen, because quite often people have been busy because people are bringing them things they wanted to do. Now it's time that the professionals can say what they would like to do that they think the other people should be doing. So there is a word that we use in the West called entrepreneurial. But it's making up things that should happen. Making up things and promoting them yourself. That's what an entrepreneur is. If you're a designer, we just call it being creative. There's another word we use. We call it creativity. The field of architecture and landscape architecture quite often end up thinking in periods of a great economic boom, they end up feeling like they're slaves to developers, and that businesses are just doing all kinds of terrible things and they're having to work on it because that's what there is. So the economic boom periods are not necessarily our best architecture and our best work. That some of the great ideas come when things are difficult. It's true with all artists, actually, that being left to yourself and thinking, what should I really be doing? Not what the boss tells me to do. And you have to deal with some people that you might not like. And you have to bring them around, and you have to be able to argue with them in a way that they'll think it's their idea, and they'll think that they're going to get credit for it. You have to work with some unsavory souls to get good things done sometimes. There are also very generous, wise people, but you don't always find them first. Landscape architects need to be able to get their hands on some of the resources and take them away from people who are doing foolish and stupid things, right? Environmentally. So we need to find a way to take the money and say, instead of doing this dumb project that's going to cost $1 billion and it's not going to make life better or safer or nicer for children or old people, but if we take some of that money, we don't have to have it all. Just give me this little bit. I want to do this other project that will actually make a difference.